Hello, and this is NHL Hockey News Reports, and today we are talking about the Wild at the Canadiens preview, and this is an interesting one. So, the Minnesota Wild look to avoid the worst start since 2009-10, and Montreal ends a 4-game homestand. Yes, they're back on the road to play, I believe, the St. Louis Blues at home, and I think it's Minnesota again, and all that sorts. But great matchup here for the Montreal Canadiens, a team that they have a little confidence to win against, I think. And let's look at the lineup. So we have Alex Daylock is in goal tonight, the backup goaltender. He's an average backup goaltender, not the best, not the worst. He's average. And we also have Carey Price expected to play tonight. So here we go. First, look at the lineup. We have first line here for the Minnesota Wild. Zach Parise, Koivu, and Zucker. A nice first line there. You know, of course, the team's trying. Boudreau's there trying to change up the lines. Whatever works, try to get something to work. Anything winning they can try to do. It'll be amazing they're trying to do. But if you see here, second line is Mayhew, Stahl, and Hartman. You know, Mayhew actually scored his first NHL goal in his first game. It was pretty cool. 26-year-old. Yeah, he did. So, he was from the Iowa Wild. It's, of course, the AHL team of the Minnesota Wild. And he looked pretty good. So, Minnesota's giving him another chance. And anyone who can score, do whatever, I'm sure Minnesota will be like, you can play for us. If you can't do that for us, thank you. And I'm sure that's what's happening. So definitely some good stuff. Also, on third line, we have Marcus Frignum, Joel Eriksson-Ek, and Luke Kunin, who, okay, third line, still young. You have some young and you have some old players, mostly old players, I would say, and some inexperienced players are trying to learn their way to the NHL or just trying to learn their way, period. And in our fourth line, we have Fiala, Donato, and Greenway. Those are guys, those youngsters, they're a little struggling right now. You know, Donato's trying. Also Greenway has struggled a little. And not just that, but Fiala was scratched the other night. So that shows that, Boudreau didn't have the most trust in him. And that's the problem. Now he's on the fourth line. Now let's look at the defense. You have Ryan Suter, who's a 34-year-old, or now he's 35, I believe. We have Jarek Spurgeon, who signed a long-term contract of $7 million. It's a long-term, it's a big one. It's a biggie. And then on second line, you have Brodin and Dumpa. A good second-line pairing, definitely. I do like that second-line pairing. Yeah, Dumpa, Brodin, young, good players. Makes a good second line. On third line, you have CeeLo and Hunt. Brett Hunt has actually been the leading goal scorer as a defenseman on the third pairing, which is pretty weird to know. But, of course, it's not going to probably stay like that for much longer. But it's pretty funny, as I would say. And in goal, we have Alex Daylock, like I said, and backing up is Devin Dubnyk. Of course, Dubnyk is the number one goaltender, but he will probably play when they're at home against Montreal. Looking at that, that's what I could see. And then scratch is Carson Saucy, and also injured is Victor Rask with a lower body injury. Matt Zuccarello is concludes, and also Greg Pateryn is out also on long-term IR. No, maybe not. I can't remember if he is or not. I'm sorry, Bill. And let's go on to the Montreal Canadiens. Canadiens' first line has been like this all season long for the last 2 weeks, right, of hockey. Now going into 3, almost done with 3, right? You have Tatar, Deneau, and Gallagher. Fantastic first line. Tatar can score. Deneau's a fantastic centerman for us. Not a franchise centerman, more like a second to third line. He should be in the right place, but Montreal doesn't really have much centers, and the ones they have are young and trying to learn. So right now, I guess it does work for them, and we'll see how everything works out. So, talking about that, let's get to the second line. We have Lehkonen, Domi, and Byron. So now they move Byron to the second right wing. Byron brings a lot of speed, and speed is fantastic to have, and what he's able to do on the speed is fantastic, and he's able to do all that stuff. He's able to have fantastic speed. He is able to go down that ice really fast. Now he's on the second line with Domi and Lehkonen. Lehkonen works really hard in the corners, gets those pucks out and moving, definitely. And Domi, a good passer, playmaker, and actually last year showed his offensive abilities, and this year he has shown that too. Moving on now to the third line, we have Druin, who's actually been really good. There with Kokanemi and Yoel Almia. And I do like that a lot. It's really good. Kokanemi, very talented. Very talented. 19-year-old. Still trying to get in his way up to first-line center to take over that first-line center, right? And then you have Druin has been very good. And Almia has been actually pretty good also. So, good third pairing, definitely. Third line for the forwards. And on fourth line, we have now Cousins makes his NHL debut with the Montreal Canadiens tonight. We have Thompson, who's been an absolutely fantastic centerman for us, a good penalty killer who's able to take those face-offs. He's a fourth line. He's 35 years old. He's not a guy that's going to score a ton of points. He's a guy that's going to help on the penalty kill, and a guy that can win face-offs, and that's so important for us because sometimes we have trouble winning face-offs. So Mark Bergevin knows that, and he has shown that as the GM of the Montreal Canadiens. And looking, Nick Suzuki, the 20-year-old, actually. Sorry, I almost said 18. 20-year-old that's still trying to find his groove. He only played around 6 games, got 1 assist right now. Am I right about that? Yes. Yes, I am. But, he's learning his way, and we'll see him do better, right? On defense, we have Mete and Rebel. And this has been an issue a little. That Mete and Rebel, a little issue. Last game with the Lightning, 3 goals the Lightning scored. That's it. And all those 3 goals, Rebel was on the ice with Mete. And the thing about that is, is that pairing good enough? They had about 2 years to perfect this. That needs to be a little bit more fixed up there. Is it because, they don't play as well together? I don't know. I remember when Rebel had Markov, and they played absolutely fantastic, had some amazing chemistry together. We gotta see how this works out. Still trying to figure it out somehow, because now it's been around 2 years, so hopefully it can get fixed. And then on second line, you have Kulak and Petrie, of course. Last 2 games before then, we had Sherratt and Petrie. And the problem about that is it wasn't really working out for Sherratt with Petrie. So then they put Kulak and Petrie. Like last year, Kulak and Petrie were absolutely a fantastic second line playing. And then they got Sherratt and Cal Fleury on the third line. Cal Fleury's a good young player, doesn't put outstanding points that blows you away. But he's a good defensive defenseman, and he'll do his thing, and he'll keep the puck in the zone, and he'll do some good, smart things he will do. So definitely. And Sherratt is a good, now a third-line pairing defenseman, and he'll get in the gritty areas and really help out and make sure those pucks don't go by, right? Price and try to clear those areas. He's done, and some of the times, a little shaky there at times. Then we have in goal, Carey Price, like I said, and backing him up is Keith Kincaid, of course, number 1 goaltender for the Canadiens is Carey Price, and backup, or usually is Kincaid. And scratch tonight is Jordan Wheel and Mike Riley and Christian Folin. So 1 forward, Wheel, and the last 2 are defensemen who are scratched. And no one injured. It was Cousins. Now he's going to be playing tonight on the 4th line. It would be awesome to see. Now we have, of course, Fast got hurt on the injured when he got injured against Toronto with Minnesota and Toronto. So he's on the IR now. And yeah, so we'll see how everything goes. Daylock, last game, he had a shutout. It was a 20-save shutout. And now he's going to play against Montreal. And Montreal is a 4-0 win with the San Jose Sharks on March 2nd there. So good job here. And I think the Canadiens will be able to crush them. And because this is a team that is underperforming this season. And if we get this win, it will get us to 3-2-2 of the season. Will give us 8 points. And that is going to really help us, a little bit more confidence, go to the Blues, try to help there, and then go back to Minnesota and try to get that one too, to kind of get ourselves moving before we have to catch up. You know what I mean? When you go down in the standings before this, in the beginning, like if you're like 3-7 for like example, you have to catch up to make it 7-7 if you don't lose any of those games, and then you gotta go higher. So if you already are like 7-3, swap them there, then you already have that. You're already head to the curb. So hopefully, Montreal, the 2-2. So there's nothing really catch up, but now it's time to make it better. All right, next video. Bye.